Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Weekly Stupid, the show that brings you the best of the stupid on DDO and has been doing so for almost a year now. And yes, we are finally back from our summer hiatus. The show will now be aired on a more weekly basis now that I am back here at UM. And thank God, too, because if you haven't noticed, DDO has been pummeled by stupidity recently. There has been so much material that we actually can make 2 episodes worth of the Weekly Stupid with it. And so we have. I'm giving you the first and possibly last ever DDO Weekly Stupid double feature. I screwed that up, didn't I? Should we edit it out or just keep going? Alright, works for me. Okay, before we start, one thing real quick. Now, over the summer break, the super duper secret totally doesn't officially exist, but it actually does. DDO Elite came together for the annual DDO Awards ceremony, where the best people on DDO are given awards for all kinds of reasons. Debating, wins, trolling, that kind of stuff. And the results are in, and I can now proudly say, The Weekly Stupid won the award for leading cause of butthurt on DDO. Give it up for yourselves, everybody. Well done. Great job. Thank you for voting. We finally did it. For years, the leading cause of butthurt had always been voting and vote bombing. But now that AirMax has stepped in and overhauled the process of reporting and countering bad votes, the amount of butthurt caused by bad voting has dropped to an all-time low, leaving the way for the Weekly Stupid to take the award for the leading cause of butthurt. Now, the Weekly Stupid certainly earned this award, but I would still like to give a shout out to all the runner-ups who didn't win the award. Those runner-ups are The Religious Forum, GWL Stuff, Trolling, Debasement for an Easy Win, and Spelling and Grammar Errors. You are all great in your own way, and you all deserve some kind of award. I'm just kidding, all of you. That's about it. Let's stop around to the top 10.
It's the final countdown!
Alright, let's get to it. Coming in at number 10, there are millions of Chinese and East Indian men with no chance of a marriage because there are no females because of abortion. That was said word for word by Dog Knox. And while both countries do have a slight issue with abortion of females, primarily for being female, it's ludicrous to say that millions of them have no chance of a marriage because of no women. Because in both India and China, there are about 12 men for every 10 women. They certainly all have a reasonable chance of getting married, and there aren't no women in India or China. That's just ludicrous to claim. That is number 10. Coming in at number 9 with a nice dose of paranoia is this one. In 20 years, England will be no more because Islam will be dominating there. That was said by Dan V, not to be confused with Dan T, and Islam only makes up 5% of England's population. There's simply no way in hell that England will be no more in 20 years simply because of the number of Muslims there. Coming in at number 8, a very primitive analysis, it negates the fact that liberals support eugenics programs like Planned Parenthood and the minimum wage. That was said by fan favorite Geo, and while I certainly see the argument for Planned Parenthood being a eugenics problem, there isn't no argument for the claim that the minimum wage is a eugenics program, since it literally has nothing to do with reproduction or genetics or anything actually related to eugenics. And that is your number 8. Number 7 is a gem that came straight out of the hippie pothead department. I'm pretty sure if there's to be any God, it's definitely love. And then maybe God is all of us, love tying us all together. That was said by Ann Doctor, Badger, whatever he is going by now. And the reason this is number 7 is because love is not God. Love is a feeling that is caused by a chemical reaction that takes place in the brain. It's not evidence of the existence of God, and it certainly is not God himself. That's just stupid, and that's number 7. Now, coming up next are 2 statements that actually go with each other since they were a part of the same conversation, and they both made it to the top 10. It was the Sharia-like laws of Moses that condemned Jesus to the cross. Islam hasn't learned their lesson yet. And then Fruity Tree's response to that was, the law of Moses didn't condemn Jesus, the Jews did for worldly reasons. Now, Islam, Sharia law, the Jews, nor Moses were the ones who killed Jesus. It was the Romans who did that. I mean, Islam didn't even come about for another 1,000 years, so to claim that they are somehow tied to the death of Jesus is simply moronic. Coming in at number 4, the inconvenient truth about the so-called stand your ground laws is that blacks benefit most from the law. Is that why racist liberal loons are dying to get rid of it? That was said by crazy conservative loon Doubting Dave, and while I don't know if it's true that the stand your ground laws benefits black the most, liberals are not calling for its repeal because they are racist. Liberals want it repealed because they think it's a bad law and only causes more problems than it solves. And also, if you take a history lesson, you'll see that it's conservatives who are consistently on the losing side of history when it comes down to being racist motherfuckers. That is number 4. Next on the list at number 3, and as for genocide, did you ever consider that the people who were killed might be evil and unrepentant, and that young babies would grow up the same way? That was said by Rookmanite, whose argument for genocide was basically, hey, what if they were right and everyone, including the babies, would grow up to be evil? It's statements like this that makes Christianity scare me a little bit. At number 2 is a real head scratcher. It's over marijuana legalization. The crime rate will increase because people will want more marijuana, hence would need money to get it, and so we will eventually die off of diseases and other human illnesses. That was said by Yanni, and I don't even know where the fuck his train of thought was on that one, because he jumped from needing money to buy drugs straight to everyone dying off of disease without any kind of segue between the two. And that is why it comes in at number 2. Now, coming in at number 1, this one was voted most likely to make you say, what the f*** out loud. It's this little gem we found in the religious forum. God planned and created all the abortions that happened since man existed. That was said by self-proclaimed prophet born of God, arguing for the all-powerful nature and planning of God. Now, needless to say, nobody bought that argument for even a second, since there's no evidence to back up such a ridiculous claim. And that is your number 1. And that is the top 10. We will have our best of the best contest in the next episode of The Weekly Stupid. Let's go there right now with the host of The Weekly Stupid, Ima Bench. Ima, how are you? Thank you, Ima. Thank you for having me. You're looking sexy as hell as always. You flatter me too much. Say, Ima, can you give us a quick description of the material on the next episode? Yeah. Stupid as hell. Really? It's that bad? Yeah, it's not Miley Cyrus at the VMAs bad, but it's pretty damn close. That was kind of hard to watch. I mean, I haven't seen somebody whore themselves out for attention that much since Inferno's last thread. Thank you for popping in, Ima, and thank you all for watching. That is it for us. Your weekend starts after you watch the next episode.